been around, Mystic Quest is basically considered the beginner's Final Fantasy. And one of the features that makes this run possible is whenever you game over in a fight or die in a fight, rather than getting taken all the way back to a save point, you just get to restart a battle. So in this tutorial battle come with the Behemoth, there's a chance that you can die if Benjamin either misses or if you just get critted against. So, and then there's not much you can do with it since it's all RNG based, plus a few other factors. How you guys doing tonight? someDDR gets the nice crit, and Boarum gets the miss. Oh no. He can't take one more miss or else he'll probably die. Never mind, there we go. Great job finishing that off, Boarum. Alright, so Mystic Quest. Pretty basic story. Our town gets destroyed, and we get this random old man hovering over a cloud telling us where we need to go. So we'll just get put off here with this dying forest, called Level Forest, by the way. We jump over this dude and we get a branch. We show Kaylee over here and she gets motivated to take a trip with us. Before we head back over to Level Forest, we do need to make a short little detour over to here. We're going to grab ourselves a Cure Spell, and this is not a safety item. We don't really ever use it to heal ourselves. More on that later. So a little bit of mechanics on the battles. For those familiar with NES style Final Fantasies, it is turn-based, and then from there, the game system it first takes your agility into account, and then some RNG, a little bit of RNG to determine the turn order.
Hello, everyone. It's Zelnus. Totally forgot that this race was happening. I started a rando, then.
Welcome, Zelnus.
My control. Yeah. Thank you. Turns out trying to relearn controls is hard. My controls
very hard. Very hard.
I was like, maybe I can learn my keyboard. No.
Keyboard percent is bad percent. If you love controllers.
Yep.
Oh yeah, another great reason to play this game is music.
Oh my goodness, this honestly the best music in the entire series almost.
The game is definitely not playing very nice on someDDRnoob. He did get the nice crit at the beginning, and Boarum almost died. But now Benjamin's died twice already in Level Forest, and there's only 2 non-boss battle encounters in Level Forest.
Yeah,
he died in both of them.
Now, I mean, at least like in this game, it's not like
it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. I don't know if you explained it, but experience still goes to the main character even when he's dead. And the partner never takes experience. They're always at the level that they are, no matter how much you level. So it adds to the simplicity of the game a bit.
I'm gonna have to agree with Dino on this one. Final Fantasy IV has the greatest music, in my opinion.
It's not good music, that's for sure. Like I said, it's one of the best in the series. Might be the best.
Might be. But yeah, so something I didn't say at the start of this run. Probably didn't see it on stream, but before they started the run, they were walking around a little bit in the final area of the game. It's because Mystic Quest has some weird mechanic when it comes. So let's go back to the point about this being a beginner's Final Fantasy. There's not much you can do with your partner. Their equipment is set, their stats are set, experience is set. However, their equipment doesn't actually change throughout the game.
Well,
And
it does.
it
sort
does and does, or sort of. You'll see different names, but you won't see like the resistances and stuff actually take effect until you reload a save file.
Now, luckily, in a casual playthrough, you will usually not notice that too much, because chances are you aren't beaten Mystic Quest in one sit-in. It's not the shortest game. It's not that long. Like, and I mean, if you end up getting frustrated because your partner keeps dying to the same thing, you'll probably just gonna save, reset, come back, and you'll be like, man, this is a lot easier than I remember.
That's because the only routine to load the equipment is when you load a save file.
Yep. It's a miracle that doesn't happen to Benjamin. Oh my goodness! This game would have probably been a lot harder to route if, or maybe it would have been easier. Just
it would have been easier.
Yeah, right. Because you just found all the best equipment and thrown it on him in the save file we use for Kaylee. So,
yeah, basically. Yeah. You just have 100% equipment and then do this. Just think about it, if spells didn't work the same way. You pick up a chest and didn't get the spell until you save your game. Ew.
Yeah, I dislike Brave at Xevious. I dislike all of those gotcha Final Fantasies. If only because I have to watch their advertisements too much. Especially that new Final Fantasy 15 one.
I tried the Brave Exvius thing a little bit.
I prefer...
It got boring after a while because you don't get to explore, basically.
I played a crap ton of Brave Frontier, which is what Brave at Xevious is. It's just a reskin of the game Brave Frontier. It's literally the same devs. They don't even try to hide it. I mean, it's in the name. My favorite of them, though, that I did play was that the one that's on Steam, Mobius. Mobius has a pretty good story. I just kind of played through the story and was pretty satisfied. The main character is pretty got some pretty good dialogue and such.
Yeah, I'm typically just a fan of the main series.
Yeah. Well, and apparently Mystic Quest.
And Mystic Quest. It's fun. You get to see Ben get confused and just shrug everything off.
Oh, I love his shrug animation. It's so good.
It's the best.
Oh, I just realized why all the audio is off. Because I'm watching the stream on the stream page, but the audio is still coming from the commentator stream I have. I'm a pretty big fan of Tactics, but I actually prefer the remake of it, even with the lag. But that I have unpopular opinions. So,
but yeah, so let's talk about item management just a touch.
Yeah, there's not much in this game, luckily, but there's some.
But if you mess up the item management, you lose a bit of time.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And then we kind of missed Boarum take the lead here.
Well, we'll see how Flamosaurus Rex treats him. So this boss is kind of the first actual obstacle in the run. The other two bosses, I mean, the first boss, if he trolls you, you just reset. The second boss is nothing. But Flamosaurus has, is it Earth Rift? Is that what it's called?
I think that's the name of the attack.
Yeah. It's when the screen shakes and he hits both party members. Hits for like, a lot of damage. And luckily, both of our characters have a good heal spell, so it's not that big of a deal.
Unfortunately, we don't use Ben's heal spell for him.
Yes.
To heal.
We want to use it on the Flamosaurus Rex, because it deals a lot of damage to him. And as you can see, he actually is prone to use the Earth Rift more
as he's dying.
So basically, the more dead he looks, the more he tries to fight back.
Ooh, let's see what this does.
Luckily, so one thing about the auto mechanic, auto actually makes the decision on the turn rather than before the turn starts. So you can have clutch things like that where Tristram will heal when, in theory, he would have attacked because of when the decision is made on the attack. believe that's correct.
And the nice thing is, Benjamin can die, get revived, and still have his attack.
Yeah, it's actually very strange interaction there, because if you had chosen to, like, if you were on manual, Tristan would have just attacked. Or most likely, that's probably what you would have told him to do. But that's kind of the reason that we leave him on auto here. Oh, and DDRnoob got trolled.
Oh no. Welcome to the Mystic Quest.
I mean, it isn't over until...
This isn't over...
Fast Bird sins.
Yeah. It's not over until we deal about 40,000 damage to the final boss.
Yeah.
There is lots of places along the way that can cost you literal minutes.
Yeah, it can cost you like a 10th of your run, or like a 20th of the run, which in a 2-hour run is quite substantial.
Very.
When's Phoebe? We'll be doing Phoebe later.
Wow, chat is already sick of Tristram.
We just don't want Tristram ever. He is the worst. Also, we skipped so many enemies in this dungeon. Thankfully, thanks to the jump mechanic. Did you go over how that works?
Nope.
Okay, well, now, unfortunately, as I'm sure everybody wishes, we could just jump all the time. You actually do lose a frame from jumping, but it lets you jump over NPCs, obstacles, and chests. We used that earlier to jump over a chest that we'll be picking up on our way out, because we need items in specific positions in our inventory for a glitch about 40 minutes in. Or even earlier, but there's 2 times in the game, and we need our items in specific positions. We're also going to use it here. When we jump, it puts us 2 frames away, or 2 tiles away, and then we can move one direction once while in the move in sand. So we move over, and it lets us squeeze our way through without doing a bunch of fights on the way out of the dungeon.
Yep, and then skipping the fights isn't necessarily all because we want to save time from not doing them. It serves another purpose on the very last boss. If we get past level 23, I believe it is, we have to change strats.
Yes. I believe that you're safe on 21, 22, and 23, and 32.
And 32.
So, no, the alternate strats are not grind to nearly max level in this game. The experience curve in this game is more of a cliff in the later levels. I believe it also has a very low maximum level as well.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that are extremely capped in this game.
I believe you can just straight up reach the cap for it. Like there's not even items that increase your stats. There's no like carbose proteins from Pokemon or seeds from. I think Tails has seeds, but there's none of that in this game.
And now Chad is happy to see Phoebe.
Yeah.
Quite OP.
We actually have her for
quite a while.
Time, actually. Tristram, we basically skip his second part. Or at least the second part's very short. There's a character that we skip almost entirely as well.
Yep. We skip eating because we don't have time to eat to finish the speedrun.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, if this was FF4, which we mentioned earlier, that NPC would have probably just blocked us for a couple of years. In this game, though, that is not an issue.
We just jump right over them.
Mm-hmm.
So while you do lose a frame every time you jump, losing that 1 frame is a lot faster than walking 5 tiles around them.
Yep. It's just, I mean, the frame difference would add up if you were to jump every single time. Kind of unfortunate, because it would be nice if we could, because it would be fun.
Unless you wanted to try some frame manipulation type stuff. Not worth it.
There isn't really much, like...
There's nothing
I'm sure, like, if somebody were to task this and really, really get into it, you'd probably, like, see random jumps throughout the dungeon, because manipulating encounters and such. But I have no idea how any of that works in Mystic Quest.
Yeah.
Luckily, we get to hear some of the best music in the game multiple times, which is the this tower's music right here that DDR noobs in. We revisit this place a few times.
Just a few.
And Phoebe is a jerk, though.
So,
just
kicks them
drop.
right off. It's like,
We're falling. Like, I don't know why we don't drop her at least once as revenge, but I guess Benjamin's too good of a guy for that.
He's afraid of what Phoebe will do next. That's clearly what's going on. So what we're doing right now, Phoebe is really convinced that she needs this Libra crest because she's convinced that this water inside the cave that we found her in is going to thaw out Windia? Not Windia. What's his place again? Boreas? I forgot it.
Remember this place's name.
It even popped up for us right here.
Nope, Snowden is a totally different game.
Different game.
Wait, what is Snowden? Where's that from? Are you sure it's not Snowden?
Snowden is a different game. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, what? Oh no. Okay, one second. I'll be right back.
Alright, see you when you get back.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about now. Okay, it's cool. But regardless, yeah.
Anyways, she's trying to freeze her. She's trying to thaw out of her town and save her grandpa that's stuck in a cave that's underneath her house for some whatever reason.
Yeah, she's not the brightest.
No, it's like casually, this game is pretty friendly.
Yeah, this game is very friendly casually. Yeah, you can overlevel very quickly via the battlegrounds. And your partners are always like pretty much on par, if not exceeding the levels that you need for each dungeon.
Yep, and then you never have to worry about buying things casually. Every time you leave and enter an area, chest respawns so you can get easy cure potions, easy seeds, easy whatever you want.
Yep. You know what, like, part of what makes the speedrun easy is, or like not easy, but so fast is because we don't have to worry about grinding because our partners are so good, and the glitch later on that gives us basically infinite mana as a side effect helps that as well. But yeah, the RNG that makes this run a bit of a chore sometimes doesn't really come into play in a casual run. Because the game also, if you are exploring the dungeons, throws protections at you pretty much exactly when you need them.
Protections that both runners are going to be skipping, for the most part. There's very few protections we will have at the end of the game.
Yeah, one of the things that actually made this run a little bit harder is because of the resistance glitch. Characters aren't, like, our partners don't actually have resistances that they have normally in these areas. Which actually makes some of the early and mid-game areas a bit harder than they would be normally.
Particularly insta-death protection.
Yes, which normally our partner would have in specific areas, but they do not. Or no, they don't. Oh yeah, no, our partner does not have it, and normally they would. The final partner does not have instant-death protection. I don't believe that we even get it, although it's not like it would be much use for the main character, as we don't learn life later.
Yeah.
That is actually another difficult thing. We will never get the spell life, so we're relying on our partners, essentially, for that. And there are a few areas where that's not available. And this is the Ice Palace boss, which is just a giant squid. We'll be seeing
we're in One Tree Cave.
Yeah.
We're in One Tree Cave right now.
Wind Tree, that's it. I thought the Wind Tree Cave was an ice cave. I always just thought it was an ice cave. Anyway, it looks icy.
You can have ice in winter.
I know.
So, The general strat for most bosses is make sure your partner doesn't die. For the most part, we can survive just fine if Benjamin dies. This battle, we don't even care if Benjamin dies. Phoebe is just that powerful. Oh yeah, so the life spell on this game, it is basically, what's... In Pokemon, it'd be like a full restore. Almost a full restore. You don't get magic out of your using magic, but it will heal most status effects, full heal you, as well as bring your partner back to life, or bring Ben back to life.
Yeah, heal. It's essentially a Mega Elixir. It's like from it's like Final Fantasy X Riku Mega Elixir power level.
Plus status effects.
That's what it did. Mega Elixir in FF10.
Oh yeah,
literally everything.
It's been a while since I played 10.
That's okay.
This game is definitely worthy of that.
It's like almost like a weird retelling of the original plot of Final Fantasy 1. Like each crystalled area is basically have the effects of what happens when the crystal is stolen.
Boarum went to the wrong spot.
Oh no. Basically, the long story short of the story is each area has a crystal that's supposed to be giving it specific powers. So the first area was dying because the earth crystal wasn't giving life to the forest. This area is super cold because the fire crystal isn't lit. The next area is too hot because this area is it's weird. Basically, the crystals are messing with everything.
Yeah, we're saving the water crystal right now.
Right. This one actually doesn't make much sense. I always think this is the fire crystal area, but it's not.
The water is out of whack, so it's not flowing.
That's it. And it's frozen because it's not flowing.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's definitely worth a play. Also, the dialogue and character animations are top
And when you do your casual play, please don't do what we're doing.
Please do the battlegrounds. Don't skip them. They're there for a reason.
And please don't skip a quarter of the game.
Yes, that too. Don't, especially since that's considered one of the best parts of the game. We actually legitimately skip one of the best parts of the game. So.
With the best music too. So we're entering this fun little Falls Basin area. We're supposed to do a long puzzle and do lots of battles, but we only do 4 battles and skip the rest of them.
Yeah, because we're smart with our heads.
Yes. That is exactly what we did.
The game essentially wants us to use all the blocks in the area, and in fact it wants us to use some blocks to get to another area to get another block to make a different puzzle. But we can just push the blocks in such a way that we don't have to do that. And we can just use the same block that we used for one other part on a different part. So skip a large portion of this area.
They're assuming that we're not going to come back for this block that DDR is pushing right now.
Yeah, they just kind of...
It's like, oh, they'll forget about it.
Yeah.
This thing from 1 minute ago. Or maybe they knew about it. It's like, let's see how many people are smart.
Whoever has the lead, Boarum by a very small amount.
Yeah, probably less than 5 minutes. Probably more
not even. I mean,
yeah, not even that.
They're 2 or 3 encounters apart right now.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes tops, I think. So it's really hard to kind of gauge right now.
And encounter luck can play into that. Each encounter is somewhat random. Where it is isn't random. Each encounter is set on the world map. But beyond that, the enemies in them are semi-random. So the different formations can actually...
I think there's 2 formations per sprite that you see on screen.
Did DDRnoob have to reset the area? Because he just did this. I missed what he did, but I believe he had to reset the area. He must have pushed the block in wrong.
It happens.
Oh,
Not
that's a
good.
pretty big loss of time, actually, unfortunately.
And then this isn't going to throw off his levels at all.
I believe this is the only 2D FF where you can jump. Or at least, like, SNES era. SNES era. So yeah, I can't think of one where you can jump.
Yep, chat does not think Minotaur or Behemoth are bosses. Because they're jokes.
I wouldn't consider Minotaur a boss, but Behemoth is. You can actually die to him.
I mean, there's a potential for the left to miss 3 times on Minotaur. Not very likely. I don't think I've ever seen it miss more than once in a run. So, welcome to Ice Pyramid. The game wants us to go right and pick up this mirror, because the mirror lets us see invisible enemies somehow. But we know where the enemies are, so we just skip it. Boarum picking up his next item for his manipulation.
But it does have the odd side effect where it makes it look like we are having random encounters.
Pseudo random.
The FFL games are technically not Final Fantasy games, so I don't know if that counts, but the dev for Final Fantasy Legends 2 and 3 did make this game. And this Ice Trap also, I don't think we said it, but he can actually be a jerk. He does deal status effects.
Let's see, I think it's FFA that is part of the Mana Legends, or the Mana games.
Seiken Detsu is Final Fantasy Adventure. All of these, like, SNES, Game Boy era, like, side games are totally worth a play. So. I love the Blizzard attack in this game. It's actually amazing. I wish we got to cast Blizzard, so we could turn people into snowmen.
Yep, but we don't visit the area for that either. Oh, they're part of the Saga games. Okay.
There's a lot of them actually. I think there's like 10 of them. So finally moving on to the Ice Pyramid for DDRnoob.
Alright, so in the same style as all the old Final Fantasy games, they like to reuse sprites. We get to see different palettes on the boss we just killed.
Mm-hmm. Usually the minor,
we'll love it.
Yeah, and usually the minor bosses, which are like the non-crystal bosses, get redubs later. Usually in like the dungeon right after. Makes them feel far less special.
They even take away one of their not dying animations, but one of their wounded animations too.
Yeah, because bosses get more than normal guys.
I will say one of the best parts about playing this is seeing the different ways as they're getting ready to die.
That has to be the best part, honestly, of these games, is the death animations.
Especially when they have these drastic changes, like the Lamias, or you see Medusa get bald and scared.
The Beholders all get really wide-eyed out of nowhere.
Their eyes get swollen.
They're like, not like this. No. The wizard's just kind of, oh.
It's like, this is not fine, stop.
I don't know what the crab does. It looks like he has
foaming.
rabies.
He's something like that. or seeing the stony roost. It's like, oh, my feathers are gone. I'm still gonna fly though.
Pazuzu and Zuz, Pazuzu and Zuz. Freaking animation of just lounging on the ground.
I'm still flying. Don't worry, guys. And then we have these sphinxes. They just look like they just look like a cat in water. No big deal.
Oh, the foam is what they do. Oh, we learned something real today. Look, I never noticed. Yeah, those birds are just still chilling in the air.
They look more like leaves than feathers now.
So weird. Doesn't even make sense that they're in this dungeon.
So important things that we're trying to do within this dungeon now. So those seeds that we picked up earlier, we failed to mention that they duped some items earlier on while they're running away for some battles. So seeds, they give us full MP.
Mm-hmm.
We need 5 of them. And they need to last us about 80% of the way through this dungeon. As part of a final setup.
Yeah, one of the odd bugs in this game is if you use an item with your partner and then run away from battle, and then back out of the menu and run away from the battle. Or sorry, no, you use an item with Ben, then you back out of the battle and then run. The item that Ben used gets put back into your inventory, and one more gets added in, basically.
Because it doesn't take the item out until he actually uses it, gets the nice little dialogue saying he used it. But for whatever reason, and then your partner has to be in manual, by the way, or else it doesn't work, because you won't be able to back out. But for whatever reason, the game decides, like, oh, you didn't use your item, let's give it back to you. But you never used it. So, magic management is extremely critical. We're not going to be using a single one on Ben, because he doesn't have anything useful yet.
Mm-hmm. Although later, luckily, it's after the point where it's after the point that we start getting good spells on him, and he starts actually being a powerhouse. Because anytime before this, you'll notice he doesn't really finish anyone off. Well, he finishes them off, but he's not very good.
He's just there to look pretty right now.
His best attack is the bombs, and they're quite weak compared to his other weapons, but they're very accurate. They can't actually miss.
Oh no, Boarum jumped off into a hole. What he's doing right here is there is a critical piece of equipment that's going to help him survive the next boss, so he doesn't get one-shotted. It also lets him set up his final part of his manipulation. At this point, he wants to try to get rid of his seeds by the time he fights the next boss. So he doesn't have to waste some time later on to use it. Okay, so that noble armor that Boarum picked up, that gives you water resistance. And we're in a watery place, so the game's going to consider the blizzard a water attack and the ice stuff water attacks. So Ben gets to survive just a touch longer. Just a few more floors on Boarum's side, and we get to see how Ice Golem plays.
And the ice golem, we actually see him in the dungeon earlier, but if you talk to him, he just runs away, just laughs at you. Maybe he calls you a jerk. I don't know.
Bosses are pretty scared in this game. You try to talk to them early, they just run away.
Kind of strange. Like you think, like they're much bigger than us. Like every single one of these bosses, like these ones, not the other ones. They're like our size for some reason. But the main bosses are like huge. Except for Bonosaurus, he does not run from you first time you see him. He just fights you.
He just kills you. Simple as that.
Usually, yeah, you're right. Usually kills you.
Maybe these other bosses just actually hear about this happening from Bonosaurus. Before that, he didn't kill any massive bosses. So they didn't have a reason to be scared yet. We are unlocking the mysteries of this game tonight. Alright, time to see our buddy, the Ice Golem. Alright, right now, Boarum is currently winning. He's a few floors ahead, about 5 counters ahead. Something like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately for DDR, this isn't exactly the trolliest boss. He can actually... this boss isn't too terrible compared to the others.
Yeah, you just have to do some pretty nice health management.
He usually won't kill anybody like out of nowhere, like some of the other bosses, like Bonosaurus in the past can do. This is kind of the second, or the second challenging boss. Doesn't really come for a bit.
Yeah, for the most part, bosses are pretty tame. Actually, it might be the boss right after this that's not so tame. Yeah, the next segment is Ghidra.
Oh yeah, Ghidra is. Luckily, we don't have to fight Ghidra. He is, though, quite difficult, even casually. He's kind of the exception to the you're over-leveled and have all the right status effects. He kind of doesn't. They said, oh no, Ghidra isn't the one we skip, is it?
No.
No, that's Twin Head?
Twin Head.
Yeah, shoot. You're right. No, never mind. Yeah, Ghidra's just tough.
Ghidra introduces the nice petrify stuff in the boss.
Yeah, petrify, yay! Always a favorite mechanic.
So yeah, this is a pretty long battle. Just about being a little bit patient. I think Boarum did take a death. I think I saw his bomb count go up.
Ooh. Well, they're both, like, as long as they manage their health, it should be okay. I have also noticed, and it almost bothers me, but in each of these races, one runner has the tick-in health, and the other has the number health. I don't know if they're doing that just to bug me.
Well, it's technically faster not to ever switch it.
Right.
Just not bother with the input. And then it's common to actually change it because we like being able... Yeah, if you're not used to it.
I do think it looks cooler to have the tick-in health, to be fair.
Yeah, just cooler. And he's just slowly melting. You know what? Next time I play through this game, I need to just kill Stone Golem normally, see if he melts like this. We just kind of get rid of him.
Poor Stone Golem. I don't know if he would melt like this. Maybe he's not more. Maybe they add a bit like of rubbly look to him, and he was more rubbly. Who knows?
Yeah, these are the kind of things that you miss out on when you speedrun sometimes.
Bye, Phoebe.
She doesn't even let us walk out with her. She's like,
No.
it's like, I'm done with you. Bye.
You don't even have the warp spell. She's just being a jerk. Did DDRnoob forget? No, he didn't. No, he didn't forget anything. Never mind.
Nope. Nothing to forget. DDR's bomb count is great. Doesn't need to make an extra stop along the way out. Or he needs to open up one chest.
Yeah, I would definitely open up a safety chest.
It's a mandatory chest at this point, otherwise he doesn't have a way to one-shot the squids. So now's our favorite time to guess how many Sphinxes we will see.
Oh, so
I'll take votes for DDR. We'll take votes for Boarum. Pick a number between 1 and, let's say, 5,000. We got to cap it somewhere.
I guess. I mean, technically we don't. It could technically go on forever. I believe it's just a 50-50 roll every time. So basically, at this battlefield that we're walking to, we're trying to get the exit spell. Every single time we enter this battlefield, it is either an octopus or some sphinxes. We can only kill the octopus, at least with the stuff that we have, which is bombs. And if there is a sphinx with him, then we can't. Also, he can confuse us, which is a time loss.
Alright, I wasn't counting. So I already saw 2 for Boarum. I don't think I saw 1 for DDR yet. Basically, we need this squid so we can one-shot them. We fight a Sphinx, we end up hurting ourselves a bit. So we are having a battle of the Final Fantasies again. Pretty nice.
I mean, when we're watching them roll a dice, there isn't that much technically to talk about. Because they quite literally are just rolling a dice.
Pretty much.
Battlefield.
We're at 3 and 1. Gilgamesh. Ooh, 4 for Boarum already.
Boy. And then I saw Battlefield 7 of 10 versus 5 of 10, so I think DDRnoob is ahead by 2, Battlefield now 3. It's really hard because it's only up for like a few frames.
Yeah, Final Fantasy V is a great one. And if you haven't done it yet, do a 4-drop Fiesta.
Mm-hmm. It's technically for charity. I have so much other stuff to do on my plate that I've neglected my Fiesta run.
Oh no.
I got like the same classes I've always gotten. It's like, I should not have done a popular run. It killed my interest.
Yeah. I've got, wow, 6. So DDR made it out with 1 Sphinx. 7 Sphinxes for Boarum? Game is not playing nice at all today. And
Just paying back Boarum for the good luck he had in the early game.
Yeah.
Now we'll be heading to a place very briefly, Fireburg, and we'll be kind of breaking the game a little bit.
Oh yeah, so the reason that we decided to fight these squids and hopefully not get sphinxes is we want the exit spell. So we're getting rid of all the backtracks finally. This is definitely something we wish would happen earlier, and Boarum made it out with 7. He is done with this.
Also, like in the Firebird area, the ground actually shakes literally every time you move on the world map. So thankfully we're not here for very long. It basically mini earthquake, as far as I can tell, every time you move. So we bought 0 of an item, which
puts
we
that,
can do.
And it puts the icon in your inventory with the 0 next to it.
Uh-huh. And we can, I believe, use 0 of an item as well.
And it messes things up.
Quite brilliantly. We basically get infinite of that item, and it buds the rest of our inventory by moving it ahead, basically, by 1 item ID. And it gives us a bunch of key items that are fake, as well as some key items that are real, and it lets us continue past the game.
Oh yeah. So what we need, our inventory has to be seeds, cure potion, refreshers, heals. The heals definitely have to be in the last part for a later glitch. It's going to coincidentally skip Fireburg again, because glitches hate Fireburg apparently. But so Mystic Quest, it does not let you reorder your inventory. So we have to make sure we don't use things too early, lose things too early. And we also have to make sure, so when we use 0 of that seed, it rewrites the next slot over to the right, which is the cure potion. And we need it to be a cure potion, because there's only 2 healing items that you can buy in this game. Seeds and the cure potion. Buying 0 of the seed lets us underflow and do some weird stuff over the cure potion. We buy 19 cure potions. We don't have a spot. The game doesn't have a spot to put them because we put fake sky coins in there. So it does some weird stuff with key items. And like that, we skipped Fireburg. And a lot of cool spells. And since we skipped Fireburg, we can't see where we're going now.
Yeah, one of the things that this game, that there's like this cloud, then every time we clear an area, it moves the cloud away. But we never did the trigger that let us clear that cloud, but we did do the trigger that let us enter this part of the world and trigger the events in this part of the world. No, this was not the first. This game was not the first shot at the SNES North American market. I believe this game actually came out after
Final Fantasy. Yes, Final Fantasy II was released before this.
This was the first and only Square Enix RPG to be released in Europe before Final Fantasy VII. They did not get any Square Enix RPG at all. So this was except for this one. As far as Square was concerned, the Europe did not exist for a very, very, very long time.
Unfortunate.
Luckily, other companies kind of released some games out there. They got Terranigma, which is generally considered one of the best action RPGs of all time. I believe they got Seikondetsu of some form.
Yeah, it's because Square just didn't want to work with 50 frames per second.
But this game was in fact aimed at like an American market that wasn't fully tapped yet. It was definitely marketed at American and Europeans who had never touched JRPGs. And as Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy were still quite unpopular here. And
I would never understand why. My very first Final Fantasy was 2/4.
Well,
and I instantly loved it.
Square and Japanese in general, the gaming market thought that Americans couldn't handle difficult games.
We didn't have cognitive reasoning, and we couldn't solve puzzles.
Well,
that sort of thing.
Or handle job classes. You notice how we never got a single job class game? All of the systems we got were very simple.
So the closest thing to something kind of complex was the Esper system in 3/6.
And that you could just brute force.
Yeah.
I believe that they're basically tied right now, actually. This cave has no battles in it. It is just walking.
Yeah, so that game over and the Seven Sphinxes didn't put Boarum that far behind.
Nope, the original JRPGs were completely influenced by Dungeons and Dragons. The original Final Fantasy, or at least the original Dragon Warrior, were basically D&D campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we can exit out of these dungeons now, including this passive dungeon that isn't very, doesn't really have anything.
Yep. Oh, look at Benzel.
The game was wholesale. Wholesale stolen. But now they're going back to some of the... They'll be basically in Windtree area, which is the first area of the game, revisited for a bit. They're going to have Kaylee, and she's just a very big axe now. She also gained a lot of levels just by sleeping.
See? Mystic Quest teaches you, you sleep, you get stronger.
Same with Oblivion.
And then also, you sleep and your dead party members come back to life too. Sleeping is here for everything.
But the reason why we have to revisit an area and then go back is we need to hit a few specific triggers in a specific order so that we don't crash the game.
I don't think we'll actually crash the game. We'll just make it unbeatable.
Yeah, the game will basically say, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Not sure what to do now." Because basically, the game can't actually handle giving you a partner while you have a partner, and that's kind of where the snake comes from. Is it will try to give you a partner that you shouldn't have.
Yeah, ISM RPG is pretty fun. I like that. Alright, so we're now at the part of the game where things start to become more RNG heavy, or it actually affects you a bit more. Like that Petrify from my mummy.
a lot of it comes from us being basically understated for the area.
Yep, and then good thing, other than poison, you basically auto-heal your... Other than poison and bond, you auto-heal after each battle.
This area actually hurts my eyes sometimes because it looks like it's all the same floor.
Yeah, it's like, it's impossible to gauge how far into this area you're in. I keep thinking, okay, I see oozes, I'm almost done. 5 rooms later.
This area is just so samey. This is definitely the worst part of the run.
Yeah, I think...
It's RNG heavy. It's like, it's not very good looking, and it has the worst music in the game other than Wind Tree, which is literally just the wind blowing in your ear.
Let's see, my splits for this one. From the time I enter Focus Tower after the Fireberg skip into Ghidra is about, it's almost 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So they're probably in here probably 17 minutes or so?
roughly.
Something like that?
Story there is, and how much weird backtracking we have to do to basically not soft lock us.
Yeah. And then in this dungeon alone, actually probably what makes it feel so long is there's like 30 mushrooms you have to cut down.
Oh, yeah, and lots of grappling to do, and the enemies are roughly like just kind of the same encounters. We don't do a lot of the side stuff, so.
Oh yeah, we also get introduced to another nasty feature of some enemies. They get the reflect spell, or they get auto reflect rather. Something that we never get ourselves. So we have to be careful with against some encounters, or their reflect damage does like 2 times the damage back to you, rather than like half of the damage, like you see reflect do in most of the other Final Fantasies. Let's see.
Another thing that makes this dungeon long is we have to keep menuing to seed our characters because it uses so much MP, and we don't actually have a lot of MP in this because we are so low leveled. And this is actually where we gain like the bulk of our levels.
And you still don't get that many levels from. I mean, you get a lot of levels, but you really don't get that much experience from it. I found out that you can accidentally exit about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the dungeon, and you still won't be at that high a level at the end of the game. You get less experience from redoing this than you get from Floor 2 Pazuzu. Somehow. Alright, so we're ranking Final Fantasies on how good they are by what you get swallowed by, apparently.
I don't know why people hate on the episodic idea. It works really well for Hitman. I don't see why it can't work well for a game that has such a rich, story. There's so much.
That's right. I need
do.
to go back and finish Final Fantasy IV After Years.
That's another good example.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the GBA extra dungeon in Final Fantasy IV. It got pretty long,
I can't remember
But
which one that one was. Is that the one where you play dead party members, or was that FF2?
you get to play. Basically, at that point, you get to reselect your party members, and then they get their own little trials, and then you have to do a bunch of zero miss refights. Yeah, it was pretty intense. The thing I don't like is these mobile remakes of the Final Fantasies.
I think they're fine. I just wish they put more effort into the Steam ports. I think they're all,
I don't like the art style from it.
You don't because you played the originals. I know tons of people who would have never, ever touched Final Fantasy games, but they will play the remakes. But they would never, ever play the sprite-based ones on the NES, and they love, love the remakes. Square Enix knew what they were doing with those remakes, like putting them on mobile and with that art style.
Yeah.
They were intentionally, because they know that we just pirated anyway. they know the truth. If we want the originals, we can get the originals.
He was not defending the 3D remakes. He was defending like the more basically a flash feel Final Fantasy remakes.
No, I'm explicitly talking about
those ones as well.
Yeah. I know tons of
DS
people
ones?
who love those ones.
The DS
ones as well. Like the DS remake for 3 is great. Nobody.
I enjoyed 3 mainly because that's my first experience with 3.
I speedrun Final Fantasy 3. The game is not very good in its original form for anybody who doesn't have horrendous nostalgia for it. The remakes for 3 is great. 4's remake is okay. I think that the GBA one is better, but there's nothing wrong really with the DS remake for 4. 5 and 6 look awful on Steam, but great on my tablet. That's why I Final Fantasy 6, all of the issues come from it being stretched out on Steam, but the actual mobile versions look great. And they're great for people who've never played them before and do not care for the sprite-based graphics. That is what they're aimed at. Because the existence of those 3D remakes do not suddenly ruin the originals.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit of optimization for DDRnoob here is walking on those is slower than just falling. So you want to fall as soon as you can, because if you do it right, you can actually move a tile while doing it. You saw it on one of those where he drops down and actually moves a tile over during the animation. Grabbing the wall mid-fall is not very hard because you just have to release and then hold it. You don't have to hit it with the right. You can be holding it as you fall. So right when he falls, he can just hold it again and he will grab onto the wall. It's not like it's a precision trick. It would be so annoying if it was. Oh, you meant for in the game for the character. Yeah, okay, yes. Doing that in real life would be really difficult unless those claws are really well enforced.
Don't worry, this game teaches you that you need no training for this sort of thing. It just comes naturally.
You just need really good gloves.
And if you notice, they don't eat anything. They don't have any substantial meals. They just eat a few seeds here and there. And they're really strong.
Kaylee had a really good sleep though.
She did. She does rest. Ben doesn't, though. They're remaking Chrono Trigger on Switch?
No, I think he's saying, where is it? I guess he wishes, but that's called I Am Setsuna. Not nearly as good, but more people should play it.
There are some Switch things I'm excited for, hopefully.
I think that they confirmed that studio that did I Am Setsuna is making another game. So hopefully they're given a bigger budget and can make the game longer than 10 hours this time.
Yeah.
And the only downside to Setsuna, it is really short. and its story is literally just Tales of Symphonia and Final Fantasy X's story, baby.
Yeah,
honestly,
so
I kind of wish that they would.
Okay, so Boarum has made some ground up in this dungeon.
The thing I want to know is, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I think
he's one encounter behind right now.
Yeah, these two are keeping up really close, especially considering DDRnoob's like one of the best runners of this game that's in this tournament.
Oh yeah,
actually,
oh yeah,
the best runner in this tournament probably.
And then Bourne's done a ton of work in this game since months before this started, and it shows.
Yeah. The thing I'm waiting for is I just want them to say what the status of VC is, because if we can still play Wii and Wii U libraries of the Virtual Console, then that means you can just play Mystic Quest and Chrono Trigger via Virtual Console. That's totally fine by me.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know. Do I get to play my old Virtual Console games again?
Oh yeah, and then Chrono Trigger, that's just a massive game. Do you ever see everything? So massive that you have to do multiple playthroughs to even touch everything.
I think like to get all 20 endings on the DS would take like a good 24 hours, including the few bonus endings, because they added a few endings that used to result in like the game crashing. I think there's a few encounters that you're not technically supposed to be able to win in the original Chrono Trigger, but you can win them with like stupid grinding, and they actually reward you with endings in the DS version.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see. Nintendo's probably not the strongest suit on that one, but maybe you shouldn't necessarily get it for free on the new consoles, but not like a discount, because I mean, there's still going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of effort to recode it to be functional on a different system.
That is true. It is actually some work, and people don't get that. They just see how ROMs and emulators work on PC and don't really understand the like hard work that goes beyond. Although people are understanding more with emulators like CMU.
Yes,
and
it's also part of the reason why the GBA VC never became an official thing for the 3DS. They didn't like the quality they were putting out with it on the ambassador clubs.
GBA is oddly hard to emulate, as it turns out that not even the people who made the GBA can emulate it properly. So the reason that there's no actual GBA emulator that's accurate out there, like the closest you get is VGBA, and
this looks pretty good with the MGBA core.
Yeah, the MGBA core is not too bad, but like everyone thinks VBA is perfect, but it's not. Actually, has a lot of issues, especially VBA length. But that one's not intended. That one was specifically made as a very hacky emulator.
Yeah,
so you could do multiplayer, which is fine.
Because there's two different thoughts for emulation. Yeah. One is making it the best experience, quote unquote, possible, and one is to make it as accurate as possible.
Mm-hmm. Which you can do for both very easily if you are. Also, DDRnoob had to kill himself there because they
got confused, and then we got another lead change, just like that. Now Ghidra.
BGBA, I believe, is what it is. Is the good core.
So excited to see this getting worked on again.
and this is the boss that, as you can see.
Actually, I do like that idea where he just tries to run away after Kaylee died, rather than waste the time of Ben trying to attack. Because some of these bosses, once they kill off your partner, they like to toy with you doing the 0 damage attacks. It's like trying to draw out, oh, not another Doom Dance. Thank you.
Yeah, luckily Doom Dance can not hit your partner. Really, or no, it can miss your partner is what it is.
Yeah, it can miss. It has a chance to miss either. It's not a 100% thing, thankfully.
Also on that, your Nintendo account's the same. They can actually like port it now. They when they during the Wii U era, I think they updated it so that they can actually do like account transfers and stuff. So they do have your VC purchases for both of like 3DS and Wii U. So you shouldn't have to rebuy any of those. Hopefully. That's my hope.
Who's better, Kaylee or Phoebe? Hands down, Phoebe.
Well, Phoebe, yeah, I mean, she's got the best equipment. She helps you through the ending too.
She has wizard spells.
Go on, kid. Wow, spoilers, DDRnoob.
Well, DDR survives this battle.
Oh, oh, there he is. Yeah, it's done. I might be like a second behind.
Oh, Boarum just finished a touch faster.
Oh no, I was a few seconds behind. Whoops. I didn't refresh fast enough. Don't hurt me, Fiesel.
Yep, so you notice that we haven't exited out yet. There's a pretty important spell that we need to give Ben some usefulness.
Oh yeah, always shoutouts to Fiesel.
Always shoutouts.
Somehow doing all of this, I don't even. Let's literally organizes multiple tournaments at once. Somehow.
Oh yeah.
You can also support Fiesel and all of the tournaments by subscribing. You should totally do that because this channel is rad.
Or you can hop on down below, click on that Amazon link, and buy something cool while you're at it.
Or if you watch ads, you can click on the bit button in your cheer thing and just cheer with that. You can even give like a forehead if you want. Or do not like this, which is my favorite. Yeah, we did it.
We got it.
We stole somebody's Prime token. Are you proud of us, Fiesel?
Alright, so part of our glitching earlier, we did get the Mobius crest. We skipped a pretty important item earlier. The Mega Grenade. So we just came back and got it.
Yeah, I believe that we actually need it, or it's just very helpful. I can't remember which one.
We will need it for Doom Castle.
That's it. Yes, we actually do need it to progress. That's the one.
Actually, I'm not sure if we needed to enter Max Ship or not. Apparently we are not commentating Link's Awakening, which is a tournament that is coming up pretty soon. I think later on this month.
Part of me wants to learn Link's Awakening because it's my favorite Zelda.
It is pretty fun.
The speedrun's super hard, and I don't think I want to learn an action speedrun like that right now. I just want to work on Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 1 PSP and submit them and get them into marathons. Oh,
that Final Fantasy 1 PSP run, that's pretty fun to watch.
I know. Nobody wants it at their marathons, except for ESA. Rip me. Even got to the point where one of our best runners just stopped submitting to GDQ. He got so discouraged. Yeah, LADX. LADX, if you've never seen an LADX speedrun, just like Wait till the tournament. The speedrun is sick. The game has jumping, just like this one. There were really random spin-off style games that got jumping in them for some reason.
Can't complain.
There's no black screen here, Waddle Horse.
Maybe we can see an Oracle of Ages speedrun tournament at some point. There's nothing like skipping the last 3 dungeons of the game.
I want to see Minish Cap, but that game's like 2.5 hours, I think. It's a very long speedrun.
Not much longer than this.
But
Well,
for an action, like I think that one has like a glitch that saves like 30 minutes, but you can also permanently fail.
Oh yeah.
I think it's an inconsistent game as well. I can't remember though. But man,
there's a bit of RNG manipulation when it comes to Oracle games.
Yeah. No, I was talking about Minish Cap.
Oh, Minish Cap. Oh yeah, sorry.
Minish Cap has like a super inconsistent glitch, if I remember.
I can't remember. Oh, it's the flute glitch.
Yeah, that's it. Flute glitch didn't take a while, which is
Ocarina glitch. Yeah, you can break the game. You get to see Link break all the layers in that one. It's basically the Minish Cap version of EG and Link to the Past.
It's not as broken, but still as broken. It's weird. It doesn't let you skip as much, but it does let you pull off some weird stuff. Our like racers are like neck and neck again. Like they have not really left each other's sights. They are actually going to be in the exact same battle right here. You are in the wrong place to not have people talk about video gaming. Speed Gaming 1 and Speed Gaming 2 are probably not your favorites.
Thifu.
Zo will sort this race out. Oh.
Yeah, Za can do this. Pazuzu's Terror can do this.
Pazuzu. And actually this boss too. Luckily we can actually stun lock this guy if we're lucky, and I believe that's where DDRnoob is at.
Yep, that's what he's trying to pull off, hoping to paralyze him.
We're just going on the all-out offense, not taking the safety strat.
Yep, and
then knows that Boarum is on the same battle as him, so decided not to try to stun lock him.
Yep, and then Dullahan does equip the nice, friendly Doom Dance that puts your character to sleep permanently. Hopefully Ben, even though he's the damage dealer of this fight.
Oh
no! Rip.
So he's just deciding to run to allow
just to skip the animation of Ben trying to attack. Just skip some text boxes.
I don't think Sakura does any talks about any games other than the Link to the Past Awakening, or Link to the Past.
Link to the Past Awakening. We're gonna have a cross-game randomizer.
To be fair, there is going to be somebody is working on an LEDX randomizer, although it won't be as crazy as the LTTP. It'll probably be more.
Yeah, there's not as many items.
Well, there's not as much sequence breaking you can pull off.
Yeah,
but it'll probably be a lot closer to if you've ever seen Zelda 2. Then that's kind of the aim that they're going for. More of a stricter. The randomizer will probably randomize the actual dungeons rather than randomizing the world and the items. But,
Zelda 2 does randomize the world.
And yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. Link to the Past lets you do that now too. Silly entrance randomizer people. Boarum did pull slightly at it. She's been ahead for pretty much this entire dungeon.
He was a little bit behind entering. He entered the fight last, but then unfortunately Kaylee decided to get killed.
Yeah.
Yes, like I've been seeing the talks about the Link's Awakening randomizer.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
I need so that means I need to get myself a EverDrive TV sometime.
That sounds expensive.
It's not as bad as you think. It's nowhere near as expensive as like an SD to SNES.
Yeah, I found out those were really expensive. I thought they were cheap because somebody told me they were. It's not true. Still cheaper than buying Earthbound, though.
Yeah.
I don't believe any grills play a video game at all.
I'm pretty sure George Foreman does. And then I haven't been paying attention to what actually is going on with Link's Awakening, but there's ways you can randomize it. So normally it's a waste of time to let Kaylee heal herself, but we gotta get rid of some cure potions, no, not cure potions, heal potions that we picked up earlier. So we'll let that happen.
Yeah, this tower is not as long, actually, as the dungeon before it. Unless it really wants to be, then it is quite long compared to even the tree.
Yep. The best RNG compared to the worst RNG is like 12 minutes, I believe.
I think it's actually 15.
15 minutes?
Yeah, if you do it absolutely optimally on both the best versus the worst, it's like a 15-minute difference.
Okay, so when we enter this tower, Prezuzu is on every floor. Somehow. So, and then you talk to him, and then he goes to a random floor. Either 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. He will never show back up on 3. On the random part. And then we have to trap him inside a couple floors.
Yeah, we need to determine which floor he's on, and then we need to go to different floors and lock them, basically. So basically prevent the elevator from going past that floor. So some of the floors, like floor 1, is fast because we just have to go to floor 2, turn that elevator off, go back to floor 1, and we win. Yeah, Jay-Z is the higher pitched one. I actually have a sore throat. And still from last week. And so I have to talk like this. Yeah, I'm Zonas. Jay-Z is the other one who doesn't sound like he's dying.
I'm full of life. But not the life spell. I can't heal diseases.
Now, even if earlier we were talking about the floor RNG, even once you do find him, he also can Doom Dance and instant kill Kaylee, which you can just keep doing.
I was very curious to see what happened if you managed to have everybody die in the same turn.
Like, including the boss?
No, it's like just what happened to DDR. So the
he realized, I think he had somebody confused, so he decided to just kill.
No, what happened? The Beholder did the attack. So the resistance was certain attacks they will the Beholder did a self-destruct, so it killed Kaylee and the last Beholder at the same time. But now we learned that it gives you the game over still.
Yeah, this dungeon, we're going to get quite a few more levels as well. Again, we need to be level 21, 22, or 23 before the final boss. If we go above that... Actually, I think it's 21 and 22 are good. 23 has a backup. And 24, we're screwed. I think
Oh,
is what it is.
okay.
I
So
believe there's actually you can't just screw yourself by over leveling. But it's I can't remember if it's 24 or 25 or you're too high of a level.
24 is when you have to switch strats.
Yeah, then 25 is when there is
Yep.
no strat.
Yep, and then Zephyr has confirmed. So if you game over and win the battle at the same time, you get the experience. Then you get the game over.
Weird.
That's pretty entertaining. Of course, also I can't hear game music right now, so
You can't? You can turn it up. You game music.
I'll
Turn
get
up the stream.
I'll get confused.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we don't use game audio for commentary.
Ah. Yeah, it was recently changed. One of them is game audio. Pretty great, actually. Fiesel always stepping up his game. Yeah, Zephyr, if you're on the commentary stream that we use has game audio now. Pretty sick. Oh, it's over Battlefields and oh, never mind. We're talking about something different.
Oh yeah, so for those that want to learn how to speedrun this, Almegas has made a speedrun guide and actual words from this for this battle. Pray.
For Pazuzu?
For these what are these?
Oh yeah, right, because it's
Manticores.
If they let you win.
Yeah, because they can instant kill you. Both the attacks that you want to use on them can miss.
But they are both vulnerable to warp and to life, which is useful. Most enemies are. It's very nice.
Yep. But unfortunately, they can miss, and then they tend to. I think they can outspeed Kaylee too, sometimes.
Yeah. Also, one thing that we found out is that on the final boss, if you're very, very lucky, Ben can actually go first, which allows you to basically skip an entire turn. It happened to somebody in the other quarterfinal match.
You can skip. Ooh, okay.
But it's completely random. Basically, just the game sometimes lets Ben go first.
Yes, like
in front of Phoebe and
yeah. At that level, Ben has about similar speed. Well, slightly slower.
Yeah. So there must be some very slight RNG in speed values.
Yeah, there's a little window on values that will generate on the turn order.
A lot of these games will their speed is also like a slight plus. You'll roll a d4 basically, quote unquote. D4.
Yeah.
What other game does that rate? Oh, Darkest Dungeon's the other game I play that's pretty prevalent in. Is it actually rolls the number from 0 to yours to 25% more than your speed, and then just figures out a random number in there for everybody's turn order. Pretty trolly. The reason nobody speedruns the full game of that game.
Okay, so we have made it our way to the highest accessible floor of Pazuzu. Now we have to make our long trip down to first to grab a spell that we'll use the rest of the game, and then two to find out how mad we need to get at this game. I guess we better start taking votes on what floor we'll find Pazuzu.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Pick 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. Six for both. Boarum. Two for both.
I mean, as long as they aren't different, then it's fine.
Yeah. Yep, we definitely don't want to see a 6 and a 2. And then 1, 5, and 4 are kind of similar. And I think floor 1 is slightly faster than a floor 5. There's a lot less backtracking. So we've talked about favorite music, we talked about favorite death animations. What about favorite spells? Yeah, Blizzard's pretty cool. Shame all the fun ones are the ones we always skip. Ultima.
I really hope they get some good RNG here.
Alright, moment of truth.
Please.
Baby rag? What?
No, Zuzu. Or...
And nope.
It's fine. It's only like a minute difference if he's on...
5 or 1.
Yeah. It's, I think it's floor 4 where you lose to 15 minutes compared to floor 6.
No, it's just 2.
It's just 2. Choose the bad one? Okay.
2's the bad one. 4 loses like 3 minutes to 5.
But 2 actually requires you to send them up, then back down, then back up or something. Like actually requires you to talk to him multiple times, which is where...
Nope, just twice.
No, just twice? Okay.
Yep, you talk to him on 2, sends him up to 3. But the switch to trap him... It just requires like a lot of extra encounters. 1 and 5 have the same number of encounters, I believe. Okay, so we did get the flare spell. So everything is make sure you have 2 enemies in flare. Unless you have an enemy that can reflect.
Yeah, these Thantoses are also quite trolling. I believe that they still know Doom Dance.
Yes, best to worst is 6-1-5-4-2. At least from the last numbers I heard.
Sorry, and which floor was he on? I saw him, but I didn't.
DDR has a floor 5.
Okay.
We haven't seen Pazuzu yet for Boarum. We will find out shortly.
Too bad compared to 1. Floor 2, though, man. Floor 2. Oh.
Floor 2 is a reset.
Yeah, if this wasn't a race.
Yeah.
And it is unfortunately not worth, even in a race, to like save before Pazuzu and then reset, because if you ever would have to reset your file, you would be set to the resistances that Kaylee has, which might not be that bad, but then you'd have to save and reset again to get the resistances back for Phoebe.
Yeah, and then you do have to wait quite a while to be able to select your save file.
Yeah. Actually, it's a pretty long intro. It's weird.
Yeah. Definitely not worth in any way. Each reset would have to save like 10, well, maybe not 10 minutes, but it would have to at least save like a couple minutes for it to be worth it.
Yeah.
The intro's not a couple minutes, but... Alright, moment of truth. We've got a floor 1 for Boarum. He's got the slightly better pattern than DDR, but they're still pretty close. DDR just has to walk back all the way back up to the top and backtrack a bit. Just so we can talk to Pazuzu and fight him. So those switches they were hitting with the axe, they close off the floor. And then I'm not sure if the game ever explicitly tells you what you need to do. But until you trap Pazuzu, he can go to any other random floor that he has access to. He doesn't have a wall to go against. So we have to either trap him between the top and the bottom, or the top at the top, or at the very bottom, or we gotta trap him between 2 different floors. And it looks like just like that, Boarum is going to be fighting Pazuzu first.
Oh, come on, DDRnoob. You don't know how trolly Za and Pazuzu are going to be.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
It could be truly trolly for Boarum. It's not over till Za lets you pass.
None shall pass. So Pazuzu, he had oh, that's still fine. I think this is a Psych Shield phase. I wasn't counting the rounds. Nope, not Psych Shield.
Oh, Psych Shield. If you weren't here, this fight would be so much better.
Yeah, so Pazuzu waits 5 turns before doing Psych Shield. If you attack him with magic the next turn, he will do a massive counterattack. He has the second most HP of the game. So it's a pretty long battle of magic and health.
Yeah, this fight is essentially, once you get into it, the turns just kind of go over and over.
Yeah, it repeats in a cycle of every
Basically, are
4.
playing the entire time, hoping that Kaylee doesn't die. And she can die, I believe, at any time. I believe
At any
that-
time. Because usually has Death Dance.
Yeah, he can just Doom Dance her, and she's gone. There's nothing you can do.
And then, fortunately, his dying animations, they are pretty late into his HP. So he's probably got, so Boarum's probably got 1 or 2 attacks left.
Yeah, like DDR says the race is over, but I mean, I don't know about that.
But I've
pretty
seen,
close.
I have seen last turn game overs.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Boarum knows he's almost done, so he's just going to go all out and then hope he dies. Like, not like that. Like that.
Oh, he don't let you there.
He knew it was going to be a Psych Shield turn, so he knew he'd be able to get a attack off. So, GG.
Okay, and they're pretty much out very, very close.
Very
So
close.
screen flashed for Boarum at basically 141. And the screen flashed, they're about, it's like about 15 seconds?
Yeah, so extremely close race.
It's 16, 17 seconds apart.
We could ask for nothing better for a run of this length.
And for this much RNG.
I know. Making the quarterfinals so much fun.
Yeah, like this. That's why I like this happened in the PSP tournament too. It's like derided as this heavily RNG game, yet everyone finished really, really close.
So definitely give these 2 guys a follow.
Yeah, these runners are great. They do other stuff obviously too. Ironically, if these tournaments do one thing, it is cause people to not want to play the game that they're in this tournament for a while. It's a weird effect of like basically grinding it for too long. But most speedrunners, have multiple games that they play at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
Or at least the same level that they play their games at.
Oh yeah.
There are exceptions, obviously, like ZFG really just plays Ocarina of Time pretty much, or
Yeah, very few.
Clint
And
Stevens
then-
only recently started playing games that weren't Ocarina. It's usually Ocarina of Time runners only run Ocarina of Time.
Yes, like there are a few games that really demand your attention in order to speedrun them.
Like,
If you're trying to do one side project to go with it, you will get wrecked on your speedrun on some of these games.
Majora's Mask, I remember people would always ask Maj and Phil, why don't you play like a different category? Why don't you play a different game for speedrunning? And for the longest time, it's just like, because it would ruin my muscle memory. There's no reason. I enjoy doing this right now. I'll just keep doing this. And it was true. He kept doing it and kept getting killed by Enoch, but whatever.
It happens. As long as you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Are they going to best 2 out of 3? Can't remember.
I don't know this one.
Nice.
I can find out really fast. I don't see any mention of this being more than 1 match at a time.
I don't know how many of these runners would want to do multiple matches. I think
Yeah.
that most of these runners are pretty okay with the single elim best of 1.
Oh no, our sandwich died. So as we saw earlier, we have a guy that just fell off a bridge about an hour ago. He fights pretty well, and then he just falls. He just falls at the end. He's like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that Ruben's trash.
He's
Like,
okay.
More trash than Tristram.
Take that, bat.
I don't know. He's pretty trash.
Take it back.
He has a flail. That's like the worst weapon in these games. Tristram at least has cure for that. Oh no, he doesn't. Maybe he is worse.
Ruben at least executes. He has some stuff in his arsenal that Tristram doesn't have. We actually have to rely on Tristram's attack on everything he does. Ruben has a fancy white spell. That we only get to see on a few formations, but still somewhat useful. Ruby can actually hit things. He really hits those spots in their stomachs.
Bye, Ruben. Phoebe's back. We got Mr. Earl back. Feels good.
Yep, and Phoebe gets mad at Ruben and says, "Go to bed. I'll eat you later."
We actually have the correct equipment right now.
Remember, this time Phoebe comes equipped with a white spell as well. Pretty OP. Basically, the rest of this game comes down: use flare and white, unless somebody resists the flare attack. Is majority of the strategies for the rest of this game.
Yeah, flare isn't non-elemental in this game. It is actually an element.
Yep, it is fire.
It's more Faraga than it is
yeah.
flare. Yeah, sometimes life and thunder are used.
Yep.
That's good parts.
Sometimes.
Also, another Final Fantasy game where ninjas will kill your run. They know
Like that?
Doom Dance too.
Oh yeah, enjoy this music.
Oh yeah, Doom Castle's music is amazing. But yeah, each of these areas are basically revisits of the
Crystal dungeons.
The dungeons, the crystal dungeons. This is I can't remember what this place was originally called.
Bone dungeon.
Bone dungeon. Yeah, right. There we go.
So on these refights, they forgot to program the bosses can resist things.
For a few of them. Yeah, we can just delete Bonosaurus Rex.
Yep. Except Boarum left him, which works just as well. Actually, I like that one since both exit and left can miss. Might as well just go for the double cast on it. And if one works, we'll exit a different guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. And by shadows. Okay, so we are back in Ice Pyramid, which is just a giant maze. We have to make sure we find every single, not necessarily, I wouldn't call it a statue per se, but we have to stab them and open up doors.
Yeah, so the reason why DDRnoob earlier mentioned like good thing I am level 20 is actually because not being level 20 where he was can in theory be a problem. I believe that could risk being underleveled for the final boss, so it would just require like doing an extra encounter or two. I'm not sure on that. It definitely does make it safer to know that you're in that range though.
Yeah.
That you're not too high or too low. Oh, okay, that's what it was. I knew there was something important for the end game that being a slightly higher level helped out with.
And spaces of thirst refills. So we are going to see a few extra strike first. Since a lot of these are enemies that are kind of from earlier areas, Ben isn't quite as underleveled for their speed. They're so strongish.
For whatever reason, they didn't actually reprogram these enemies. They just kind of put them here and added a shadow to the encounter. The shadows are actually at the level that they should be, because they're from this dungeon. And the refights for Pazuzu's part of this area are, well, I mean, we didn't fight them that long ago, so they're actually still kind of on par.
Same wreckage. Alright, welcome to Stone Golem. We will hopefully cast Acid on him, and it'll work. Just like that. And we don't get to see how he dies. Pretty fast fight. Ew. That Petrify. Fortunately, Cerberuses are weak against Flare. So as long as Ben survives, this battle's done. So now onto this area that we have never seen before. Wonder what this is about. And for being a fire area, a lot of enemies are weak against this fire spell. Or fire-based spells.
Yeah, this area, it's kind of weird to see it after not, well, seeing anything like it earlier in the speedrun.
Oh yeah.
My first time playing this game was using the speedrun strats. So I never saw this area until I got to Doom Castle.
Yep. Fire area with enemies weak to fire. Best design ever.
This game has a lot of questionable design.
It's like they're pretty hot, but they couldn't take the heat anymore, so we just push them past that edge, then they burn. Imagine playing Pokemon and you have some kind of ice Pokemon in a volcano. So we have Twin Head. Not too bad of a boss, but he has a nasty tendency to troll. Just like every other boss in here. I think he still has Doom Dance. Yes, he does. But he is resistant towards Flare, so rely on Phoebe a bit more in here. Try and make sure she stays alive.
It's unfortunate we can't just insta-kill this boss, because he is actually a threat, somewhat. Not as much as Zoo or Pazuzu, but...
Just has the almighty Doom Dance.
Yeah.
But Boarum's almost got this down. Just a couple more attacks.
DDRnoob isn't too far behind, though.
Yeah. I think this will finish him off. Yeah.
He's down for Boarum.
I already know there's a Zelda race coming up.
I'm not sure when the Zelda race is coming up. Probably like right after this. We're only about...
We're probably... if things go well. Provided no...
it's on SG1, actually, then. Never mind. Feasel correcting us. You shouldn't miss it, though, if you want to attach the end of this. You're not going to miss too much of the Zelda race, either. We are, like I said, almost at the end. Probably like...
We have 2 bosses left.
5 to 10 minutes?
Yep, in like 7 encounters left?
Yeah, there's not many. And the as long as the second to last fight doesn't troll, the end game is free.
Mostly free. %free.
1.5 bosses left, and about 6 encounters that are far harder than that half boss. I believe that the only Zelda that happens on this channel right now is Link to the Past. I don't think that the other randomizer or non-randomizer tournaments are on right now.
Let's see, I think Majora's Mask started. I think that's still going on.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Now there's Entrance Shuffle as well as there's also off this channel the Tade tournament, which I've been watching a lot of. That's fun. Definitely very niche though for that, even for that community. That's a free I'll actually agree with. It's true though. Yeah, so there's an optional equipment you can get for Ben that will give you some extra resistances. These players are going to opt not to take it. I think you lose about a minute or two.
Roughly a minute. And they missed their opportunity to get it a really long time ago. This is back in the Bone Dungeon area. The Aegis Shield was there. And what this does is it prevents Ben from getting stoned. Like that. And then it's incredibly scary to see Phoebe get petrified. Oh, and paralyzed. Since at this point Ben is now slower than everything again. So they can easily petrify Ben or paralyze him into an infinite, and he just gets speed up that way. But most of these enemies are playing pretty nice tonight.
Yeah,
right now.
Most of them can Doom Dance you. So
yeah, or get the double petrify going.
Yeah,
easy.
But there hasn't actually been that many give ups or no give ups, I should say. It's been pretty good.
Which owner paid the highest speed is would be incredibly hilarious if RNGs was linked to the gold.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, even though DDRnoob hasn't like died as much, he has still actually died a few times, and even the entire Z doesn't tie in have been trolling him pretty hard.
RPGC, Boarum got a 1, DDR got a 5.
Hello, RPG chick.
Yep, almost no difference as far as that goes.
Yeah, they've been pretty much neck and neck since.
Yeah, and
the
then
beginning, because they actually did have some
RNG has basically balanced them out between the two runners.
Yeah, they've both held the lead at some point, but I'd say Borum's been in the lead for more.
Most of it now. Ever since Dullahan, he's never let go of the lead.
Yeah, Dullahan kind of gave DDRnoob a bit of issues. But Za does still exist, and Za
does exist. DDR did get a 1 Sphinx exit with Boarum 7.
Right, yeah. DDR did gain a lot of time at the exit.
Yeah, because I think it's like 12 seconds for each Sphinx you see.
Up to, because they control. I think you can fail running away. You might be able to fail running away from them once, but I don't think that happened.
Oh no!
Phoebe's already down, so let's just.
And then Za's nowhere near dead.
Yeah.
So if I have seen Za and Pazuzu both troll, it's like, oh, I'm killing Phoebe. I'm just gonna do 1 damage to you for a while.
And now they will be on the same boss with almost the same time. Like Borum's only like 2 rounds ahead. He actually missed an exit, so neither of them have actually damaged Za yet. Although there's the first flare. So that's actually 2k. Oh, and DDRnoob's doing the Louise strat, which is a little bit more dangerous. But it actually puts a little bit of damage on Za himself.
Yeah, and then he knows he's behind, so he needs to make some time up.
Put in Phoebe on auto, so she's gonna res in response to Za's attack. Oh, and there goes Phoebe. Phoebe is down.
Oh my!
He did go for
a Doom Dance right there.
Did not.
Oh, that wasn't Doom Dance. Thank you, Za, for making it a fast death.
Oh, nope, missed Doom Dance. Missed Doom Dance. He is sticking with the AoE strat instead of the exit life strat. Phoebe's full health though this time, so this should be a lot better. Oh, he's actually just going for the white.
He wants Za dead. As long as she doesn't get a Doom Dance on... I think Borum's got this. Because he's pretty close to dead at this point.
As long as doesn't pull out a Doom Dance.
might be able to survive this one. Oh.
Oh no!
Oh,
Right
at the end. I think
Final
he,
phase. Oh, it begins indeed. Oh, Zuz on phase 2.
welcome to Mystic West.
Okay, come on.
Final phase. And then we say that the final boss is free,
Oh,
but there is still a chance that Dark King says no. Not as high as chance as I will ever say.
yeah, Dark King doesn't usually end the run, but he definitely can. So we fall off the edge here because it brings us closer to the end of this area, and we can just climb up the steps.
Yeah, it's
like a
yeah.
30-second time save or something like that. It's not that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's an incredibly big backtrack to get back to the normal entrance.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking. No enemies though. So we
Yeah.
just walk up here and we're at the final statue.
Yep. And then I think Dark King can say no once the DDR and he'll still come out ahead.
Yeah. DDR, even if he does get killed by Super Bird Man.
Yeah, because it only loses like
Yeah.
a minute.
It's such a low percentage, it will almost never happen multiple times in a row.
Multiple,
So, usually whoever beats Zuh is the winner. Barring extreme circumstances or somebody suddenly being level 24, or 25 and just going like, what? I still love this. I'll never get over the fact that he's holding that bow and arrow. Like,
yep, and then this is the end. Oh. Well, that just adds a little bit of time, but this should still DDR should still finish off on this turn.
And Giant Spider-Man and Medusa head. And no more boss.
Yep.
And that is the DDRnoob winning by like literally
minutes.
One dance. He won pretty much because Zuh did that. Zuh
did that do
Boarum at the worst time.
Yep. So
that DDRnoob or
this is nice.
Boarum will jump in.
Not looking good for Boarum. We got paralyzed Ben right now.
Oh, he's back.
I'm not sure what the damage is looking like. But basically,
he as shot the boss.
So basically, that's gonna. Huh.
Oh.
Interesting. Basically, if you can make it past round 2 without a hitch, then you've got the game down.
Wow, he's actually having some issues with the final boss here.
There we go.
There he is. There we go. Hopefully we can get both runners in here for an interview.
We shall see. Nope, wrong person. So GG to both runners. Be sure to give them both a follow.
Yeah.
Excellent play for them. Fortunately, RNG not playing very nice for Boarum at the very end. But this is what happens.
Hey, Boarum? Oh no, he's muted.
Can't hear us. GG Boarum.
GG Boarum.
Thanks, man.
You are
That
so
zoo.
close.
That zoo.
Zoo.
Literally cost the race.
Doom danced to death.
I thought you got him low enough right there at the very end. Almost thought that Doom Dance wasn't going to affect you winning it right there.
Yeah, I thought you were close enough as well, but you're like one attack off probably.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see his hit points like just scraping 7 HP or something.
Probably. It's like that kill that you get, like that escaped kill in like Overwatch or something. It's just like, oh, right, slipped right by.
Yeah, I thought I had him for a second, but he's too good. He's too good.
Too good. Yeah, because you're definitively ahead. Well, maybe not definitively, but you had a good 2-minute lead going into Zop. You pretty much had a nice lead since Dullahan is when you held it for the longest time.
Yeah, you pretty much didn't lose it after that. DDRnoob got trolled in the dungeon and then like on the boss himself. So,
yeah, and he got a floor 5, and I got a floor 1, I believe.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was that gave me that little extra bump where like the whole time I was like, okay, like we're good as long as
Yeah.
the one scenario. So
Yeah. And then you had that 7 Sphinx exit.
oh god, I think I opened with almost 7. It was like 3, and then I got 1 kill, and then there was like another 2. And my ice golem, same thing. I died like literally Phoebe just had to go first and get her fire spell, and I would have won, and instead he hit first. And he did that twice in the last 2 rounds that I died to ice golem. So I played it a little risky. It was still a 40-minute ice golem, but it was almost like a low 38, which I would have loved, so I went for it.
Yeah. Might as well. And playing against DDR, that's definitely a risk you need to take if you want to win.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's like I was counting his hit points, and I'm like, yeah, we gotta just go for it.
Yeah, so good luck. Unfortunately, sorry, I meant DDRnoob, but he's not even here. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he doesn't have his headphones.
Headset in.
Yeah, which is fine.
But yeah, I mean that's the nature of the beast of this game is you're gonna
yeah.
You're just
So
get screwed at the end. I think we all knew that.
So
Don't worry. At
most
one
important
point,
question.
The idea was going to be that the winner got to stop playing. So technically, you're the winner. You don't have to
So
play.
burning question: are you going to keep playing this game and grind it down?
So I know most people say no. I'm actually going to say yes.
That's up to.
I like torture.
Oh, that type, eh?
No, I know I can get sub 2 minute, or sorry, 2 hour, if I grind it out, and I'd really like to be in that sub 2 category.
It's a pretty good guide, right? Because I mean, as much as we joked about RNG, you just have to be good at this game to get sub 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would like to be sub 158 just because someDDRnoob's holding that position, but if I can at least break 2 hour, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because what's your PB at right now?
204 something.
And
Yes,
what's your tower?
And that was a floor 6. And I mean, I gold splitted 4 splits coming in because my Flamerous Rex was ridiculous. I barely even had to like life. So just need to get like all the luck to kind of come into one run, and I'm positive I can get sub 2 hour.
There you guys go.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of this speedrun, you can always obviously follow here, this seems to be where most of the Mystic Quest events go. But also follow Boarum as he'll keep grinding. Sub 2 is reset heavy though, so if you ever watch that, keep that in mind. He will be resetting everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much resetting at Ice Golem if it's not. Like, my goal is usually sub 39 when I'm PBing for Ice Golem, so like I'll reset there.
The reset points are like the first boss, the third boss, then Ice Palace. Then really, I mean, the next problem is
and then Darking, and then Pazuzu, and then
once Doom Dance enters the picture, then those are the reset points.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to kind of give it, like, if you only had to reset once on the boss, I'd probably keep pushing it, at least until you find out floor 6. But if you're, like, I always kind of gauge on my splits, so it's like, if you're 3 minutes behind your splits going to Pazuzu's tower, you like, just chuck it.
Chuck it.
Because most likely, most people's PBs, their Doom Castle's pretty good, so you don't really tend to gain a lot.
Yeah,
Doom Castle.
Pretty much all execution outside of Zuh.
Yeah. God, what a bastard.
Yeah, I think that's good. I believe that there's a Zelda thing going on and Speed Gaming 1, so you guys should all hop over there. Continue watching the racing.
Yeah, I just want to say, as always, thanks Feasel, thanks Speed Gaming, thanks you guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Sorry, JC and Zelnas. I wasn't sure who was commentating. Sorry, I said guys.
We didn't know we were commentating until the rain.
Yeah, I was asked 5 minutes before you started.
I noticed it was live 2 minutes after it started.
Okay, yeah, I know Penguin might have, so wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone, and I appreciate the spotlight for a moment, and I hope DDRnoob takes the tournament. Because the best thing is, if you're gonna lose a tournament, you want the person who beat you to win the tournament, right?
That's my
so then you can just fall back on that. It's like, hey, he was a beast.
Yeah,
I got beat by him.
No, entrance shuffle is over on the That's the Best. So that just started 4 minutes ago. So I think that's a perfect time to send everyone over there.
Sounds good.
All right, peace out.
See you guys.